Hello and welcome to the Superior Comic Show, your kind of weekly Irish pop culture show. This week on the show, no comic book line to bring us in because I'm too excited at the return of the little brother, one of the OGs who disappeared off to go to college and better himself. Uh, how dare he?
I'm returning an educated man. That's debatable, but
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Dane, welcome back. It's been a long time.
How are we, folks? Hope you missed me.
They're kind of hoping you missed them.
Listen. I have to keep them on the more, Little swift exit.
We had
comeback.
It was a very swift exit. We had a good thing going, and it was just.
Listen, that's keep them guessing, keep them on the toes. No one thought I was coming back, and here I am.
Yeah, it's like, you mean your dad going, I'm just going down the shop for a few smokes and doesn't come back for about 20 years.
Listen, that milk was hard to get, I had to go to a few different garages, a few different shops. Got there in the end.
Oh man, most dads
come back.
I went down to the shop for toilet roll.
Listen, you're right there now, no more child support to pay, so I'm back.
Yeah. I'd be the type of cunt to go, here's the receipts.
So how's things? How are you?
All good. Been holding down the fort myself.
How's the show been in my absence?
Good. You missed out on some incredible interviews.
I've seen them. I mean, you might not believe me, but I've been keeping up. I've been keeping an eye.
Good.
Good. As I was watching.
It's good to hear that you still support.
I'm the little brother, but I'm still big brother, really. Keeping the eye on
you. No, most notably, I think you missed the Kim Rhodes one. That was a good one.
Seen it. I was speaking to my dad about it, and that was very good.
Oh, speaking to dad about it, Jesus.
Yeah. Dad enjoyed it.
I'm watching my stuff.
He is. He's an avid viewer of this period comic show.
We better be.
He is. I'm sure one of those looks at him.
I'm over 18 now. I don't need child support. I just need support.
I can provide some show support.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No, we had some great guests. We had Kelly Thompson, comic writer. We had Panda Red from TikTok. That one is over 2,000 views and counting.
Seen that one, yeah. It's very good.
He's blowing up now big time. He's at nearly 500,000 followers now.
Fucking fair play to him, huh?
Yeah.
More power to him.
Got in there before he was famous.
Tactical timing.
Anyway,
I just finished my bachelor degree this last couple of weeks. So I'll graduate then the end of this year. And then I have a year off now. I was hoping to travel. I was hoping to go to America. Doesn't look like it's happening. I was going to work in a summer camp for the summer, of course. But it doesn't look like it's happening. So I'll probably just save up and start driving. And then next year I'll start my master's. And then within 2 or 3 years, then I'll be a teacher.
So you won't be for this year anyway. You won't be the traveling uncle, but you can be the cool one.
I'm gonna try travel as much as I can. Still, we'll see.
Do it. Travel. I've done a little bit and thoroughly enjoyed it. I still plan on doing it. So now I plan on doing it in a more kid-friendly way.
Yeah. Family travel now.
Yeah.
I don't plan on doing kid-friendly travel.
This is not comic related at all. We're getting into the show now in a minute, but I have to give you props still for that one holiday on your own.
Oh yeah. Listen, I think everyone should do it. And I go on talking about how I went on a holiday on my own, but I've known people who've done it far more than me, far further than me. And once again, they all swear by it. It's an enlightening experience. It's very, very cathartic, especially if you go on somewhere you have a connection to. I really love Rome. Love Roman history. I have a book somewhere here about Roman history. Yeah, and I identify with the place. I love the place. So it was nice to go and be there in the flesh and experience some of the culture.
Well, here's my way to segue into actual comic talk. I feel like if I go on holiday, I need a bookie there to my sandwich ground to keep me on point, because otherwise I'm lying in bed for half the day and missing out on the whole country.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So speaking of Bucky and Sam Wilson, any thoughts you want to share with the gang on the show?
Well, first, didn't think you'd be segueing me into topics, but
listen, haven't lost it.
First, you need to address the elephant in the room. All the people giving out
about. I've gained weight, okay, but come on.
No, it's a lot of people were giving out about it, and a lot of people were saying it was wrong up until it was actually revealed. So we can finally say it now that it's over. The show was about race.
Yeah. Marvel. I think for an industry, for a company that's kind of stayed out of politics for a long time, they did it in a way with this series that I think wasn't too on the nose. Like I've watched plenty of breakdowns and stuff, and it was very subtle, but also it was poignant. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
still effective in the way they were doing it. Like I really rate how they did it. Like
yeah. It's like some of the important moments would have been um, Sam basically getting pulled by the police and them putting their hands on their guns when him and Bucky were having an argument in the street.
yeah, until they realize who it is.
Yeah, it's like one is a Falcon and a military vet. The other is a military vet, but also a world famous assassin. But now we're gonna pull our gun
Yeah,
on that guy.
it's just something you should be aiming at. Yeah, it should be the cold blooded killer over there. Like
Yeah,
you know.
shoot a dude with the fucking vibranium arm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely was about race, and I think they handled it pretty well. Especially for like it's an American based show in America. You know, it's where we know there's been a lot of discourse about race
Oh, yeah.
recently and for a long time, in fairness. So it was definitely a touchy subject and something that they could have went south with, you know, but they handled it really well as far as I'm concerned.
I have to say, like, it was a
And
worry.
again, I'm a white Irish kid in Ireland, you know,
Yeah,
I don't have to say in it really.
it was a worry for me when Disney took over Marvel about that because Disney liked to stay away from politics, considering who their like founder was linked with. And with Marvel in comics, politics have been a huge part of it from the get go. And it always worried me with Disney taking over whether that was still going to shine through. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think it really has.
It has, but then I wonder how much of it is pandering to the audience, you know, and pandering to who they know is viewing the show. Because if you look at some of Disney's like affiliates and their history and stuff, and you know, who they're associated with in China and stuff, like it's not glowing thing, you know. So I wonder how much of it is, you know, they're legit trying to do the right thing, and how much of it is this will look well, you know.
So I think on Disney's part, I think it's more this will look well. Whereas on Marvel's part, you have Kevin Feige there, who is
Yeah,
a great driver of this whole thing. And I think for him, it's the let's put real life on the screen
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
superheroes. Whereas with Disney, yes, I do think it's a lot of this will look good for us.
I mean, ulterior motives aside, it still is a strong message, and it's a very positive message. You know, the kind of the way they handled it, it was a good thing overall, despite whatever might be going on behind the scenes, you know, and at the hierarchy of Disney. But I still think it was a good thing overall.
Yeah, like let's talk about Isaiah Bradley for a minute.
Mm, yeah,
What arc? He didn't have too much screen time, but what a story arc throughout the whole show.
I mean, he made use of that screen time.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
the screen time he did have, he made use of it. Like, so I think the most powerful scenes were the ones with him, and like, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
particularly the one where Sam Wilson sat down with him by himself, and Bradley told him the whole story.
yeah.
That was some powerful shit, man.
It was. It really showed like how they were treated. Like, and it showed like there was going back years ago. I think someone was saying that, and back in like Civil War days, real Civil War, not Marvel Civil War. The black people were basically put on the front line to they were basically kamikaze.
Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, there were tests and stuff done on African Americans as well. Like, you know,
Yeah,
in wartime, like there's a history of it, you know.
yeah.
So it's not too far. It's not too abstract from the reality, you know.
Here's a question for you. Actually, I've seen this a couple of these on TikToks. People talking about it. A lot of people are saying Sam was in the wrong in the last episode. No, when he got the memorial thing put up for Isaiah. A lot of people are saying he was in the wrong because he didn't ask Isaiah after Isaiah had explicitly said he just wanted to be forgotten.
Yeah, yeah. I think like Isaiah seemed happy with it, you know.
Yeah,
You can't assume things. But then again, we don't really know the process that Sam went through to get that done,
yeah,
you know. We know that it gave Isaiah some freedom. You know, he didn't have to live in fear anymore. But that must have been a serious process to go through to get
yeah,
that freedom, you know. So if there was more light shed on what he went through to do it, then maybe it would be a bit easier to accept. but
Yeah,
I can see where you're coming from. I can see where people are coming from. Where this man just wants to live peacefully, and
yeah.
that's all he wants. And here he is with a statue of him now. But he seemed, I mean, you can't really assume
It
things,
seemed to
but
work out.
yeah, he seemed moved by it. Like,
And speaking of, actually, you said it there a few minutes ago about us being white Irish kids. Can't really speak much about it because we don't go through it. Bucky had a great line in it when him and Sam were throwing the shield around, where he basically said to Sam, "Me and Steve didn't think about what it would mean for a black man to have the shield. We did not like. How could we?"
this is the subtle way that they're dealing with things like this. They're not directly going with it, but that's their way of acknowledging, there's that white privilege exists,
Yeah,
and that Bucky and Steve benefited from white privilege, because they never had to think of that.
yeah,
So like that's again a subtle but effective way that they're dealing with the discourse on white privilege and race in America and
exactly.
globally.
Yeah, I agree. And it's basically it's a very well put way of saying I'm your ally in this, but yes, okay, I acknowledge that I'm white and I have zero clue what
Yeah.
it is you're going through.
And personally, I didn't think it felt forced. It
Yeah,
felt like two friends who you've watched them like at the very start of the series. They didn't really want to work together. You've watched them grow to love each other and to work together as a team. And it seemed like two friends really just kind of having a conversation about a lost friend.
yeah,
A big part of both their lives. It didn't seem forced to me. It seemed authentic and honest.
yeah. And even one of the most powerful things I thought was the Sam's speech at the end when he first his costume was just on point, was just spectacular. Uh,
Yeah.
Before we talk about speech, actually, another thing, I'm getting a lot of my theories and references from TikTok now because it's great for just 1 minute little research.
TikTok's the business, man. TikTok's the shit.
You see in Sam's costume, it looks very similar to Steve's Winter Soldier costume. But where Steve's had the 3 stripes coming out of each star, Sam had 2. And the 2 things about that someone said were, one, they look like Falcon's wings coming out, but 2, it's apparently a reference to the fallen soldier formation that the Air Force do, that they fly in a certain formation to basically remember a fallen soldier. So basically, every time he flies, then he's remembering Steve.
Yeah. See, I've watched these breakdowns and TikToks, like you said, and they always point to these really small, minute details, and that's another call to how diligent the producers
Yeah,
and the writers and the directors are in the small details they put in that mean a lot when you look beneath the surface.
yeah. And then his speech is basically
I love the speech.
what every black person I've seen talk about on Twitter constantly when it comes to government stuff, especially when
Yeah.
Trump was in office.
And he's not only speaking for black people, he's speaking for all minorities,
Yeah,
because this is one of the issues I had with the series was the plot line that they left out with refugees being moved around and refugee camps and stuff. I feel like it would have really developed some interesting character arcs. I think it would have benefited the series overall.
yeah,
But in that speech, he's speaking on behalf of the little guys. I mean, the forgotten ones, the minorities, and the people who are being affected by these executives, and they're just moving pieces on a chessboard, but they're real life people.
yeah,
And I feel like if we had got to see those real life people being moved around in refugee camps and stuff like that, it would have had more of an impact, but it's still very impactful.
yeah. Right, so yeah, no, I do agree that missing plotline there with the refugees would have added a lot more to it. It would have made Carly seem a lot more like a sympathetic
100%.
villain than she was. I think I know, like with Carly, I knew what they were trying to go for while watching it, but I still felt it needed more.
It felt very sudden. The
With
whole
the refugees, I think what was it? Was one of the plot lines that was supposed to be there was a lot of refugees died, including Mama Danya, because of like, lack of some vaccine, and they found that they had this vaccine locked up, and that's why she blew up that building, basically.
yeah, that's what it seemed very sudden to go from, her cause and she's trying to do right to blowing up a whole building and
Yeah,
killing innocent people. It did seem very sudden, and I feel like that's the main issue I've seen people have with the series is that storyline
yeah,
being left on the chopping room floor.
and it was like there was a lot of her story I think could have been fleshed out on. Like there was as well, but I did like how the similarities between Sam and Steve in that situation where you see in the past Steve talking like they're just kids, and then you have Sam with her, she's just a kid. There's a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah,
you could see a lot that Sam took a lot of inspiration from Steve.
yeah. Even in the Shield, there's so many scenes that had like such symbolism with the Shield. You know,
Mm.
when it was falling, when there was blood on it. You know, when Sam was cleaning the blood off,
Yeah,
that was really powerful. I think, you know, and that's when I knew then that, you know, Sam was taking that shield. You know, and
yeah,
that was it.
that was tough from
It
taking it.
was, yeah, it was very symbolic. What did you think of the Carter situation?
That I was gonna put, like, to me that seemed like Marvel were moving. They had us in the garden watching while they moved extra chairs and sweets and balloons and cake into the house. And then when we walked into the house, they went surprise. You know, to me, it became so obvious. It wasn't a very well done twist.
Yeah, I like, you could see it coming like
Yeah,
that. I think I seen some theories saying that they would have liked it to be Zola. Um, and they thought him in Robot Body, like the
yeah,
comics, would have been a good show. I mean, it could still happen, but I don't know. It's very confusing. I'd like to see where it goes because I don't know what the whole situation is with Carter and, like, you know, what her motivations are and where she's going with it. But it was easy seeing it coming, like, you know.
yeah. It's
Um,
one of them I can understand some of her motives. Like, you know, I mean, the government that she worked for and put, like, basically put her life on the line for, didn't give her a pardon. You know, and everyone else was blipped for
yeah,
5 years, and she's stuck out on Madripoor,
yeah, yeah.
which
I
again is
like
a huge
Madripoor.
tease to the X-Men.
I liked Madripoor. Madripoor was really unique. It felt like a bit of cyberpunk kind of feel to it. Like, it was cool.
Like in the comics, that's a
Um,
mutant haven, basically. Like Wolverine
yeah.
owned his own casino there under the name Pat.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I liked Madripoor. But yeah, there's a whole for the whole time, and, you know, um, I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you know? No, you're gone again.
I'm breaking up. I think. Hold on, I'll try and fix it. 1 second.
Jeez, you back on that old internet?
Uh,
We used to play PlayStation together.
it isn't great. I'll say that much. Right. So hopefully that's fixed. Yeah, you've seen it coming, but I think that they could. I liked Madripoor. I liked Batroc.
Mm.
I mean, I'm a sucker for some George St. Pierre. You know. Um, for me, to be honest, besides the main two characters, my standout was Zemo.
Let's be honest.
Zemo was
Zemo
phenomenal.
was, other than Sam, Zemo was the main character, right?
Zemo was phenomenal, man.
This dude breaking out the Jersey Shore fist pump, bringing it back.
What a hero, man. He stole the scenes, you know, quite often, and he did it in a way that's like, for some reason, I want to see it. I want to see it as cringy and I want to see it as corny, but I still love it. Like, it's really weird the way he does it. Like, he does it so well, you know, like the slow, deliberate, like, delivery of his lines. It's so slow and, like, you know, thought out, but and it could so easily come across as like cheesy and cringy, but it does it so well. I don't know what it is, but he plays it really well.
Like I've said it since Civil War, Zemo is the best MCU villain. Not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because of his
he's brilliant.
personality and stuff like that, is because of his methods. Like he split the Avengers up without throwing a single punch.
Hmm. Like, he's a relatable villain. You know what I mean? Like, he has, like, really, and, like, really relatable motives. You know what I mean? Like, and you can tell that it's very personal to him. And it's the way he goes about it, man. I loved his get up in the series as well. I
No,
wish we saw more of him in the purple mask.
I want that jacket.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't pull it off now, but it's nice.
The thing is, and this is why I think he's such a good villain as well, is his lines are so double edged. Like when he's talking the whole time about you can't be a super soldier without being a supremacist.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
basically, I'm sorry, but he was throwing Sam off sense as well because Bucky's there as well. He did say Steve was the only exception.
yeah,
It was a
yeah,
great line, and it like, but like he just went straight to supremacy because I think, in my opinion, he had point, but he knew if he throws the word supremacy in there to a black man, he's going to get through a lot easier.
yeah, yeah. He is very careful with his words. I like that you could see that in his history in the cinematic universe. You know, I really enjoyed him. I enjoyed John Walker as well. I enjoyed hating him. You know.
Yeah, and
Um,
their little attempted redemption at the end.
I wish they didn't, to be honest.
But just maybe before we go on to John, Bucky, I think Zemo was trying to push Bucky as far into the Winter Soldier as he could to see how much was still there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because if Bucky showed any glimpses of that those demons still there, like, Zemo's taking advantage of that.
Oh yeah,
Even in the Madripoor scene when he was like, you have to act like the Winter Soldier. He's trying to get him back into that mind frame. And trying to get him back there. I did enjoy Bucky's arc. His kind of redemption arc and his arc of like gaining peace with himself and
yeah.
his history.
And those
I would like to see a bit more of it, but
like
sorry?
his therapist was terrible. Sam done more for him in one conversation than his therapist done over the whole.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for some Winter Soldier. I mean, any scene he's in, I'm paying close attention, because I love Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier. And my only complaint will be that we didn't see enough of him. I always want to see more Winter Soldier. But yeah, Zemo is definitely angling towards getting him into that Winter Soldier mindset.
You 100% was, and like I thought Zemo was going to try to take him out then in the end. See his whole thing against super soldiers, and I'll be honest, for a split second I thought Zemo was going to take the serum when he seen it on the ground, until he then just snapped off. For a split second I was like, is he going to take that? I was like, no, he hates super soldiers.
Yeah. That was so I don't know, like grim, or like it was frightening the way he was stamping on that serum. He did it with conviction. I mean, like you could tell he was putting his personal life into those stamps.
Oh, 100%. Onto Bucky as well. We were talking there. The two I think most important moments for Bucky in the series was, well, not most important, but two that hit me the most were when AO disengaged his arm. Basically saying, yeah, Bucky, listen, we trained you up and we made you better, but we gave you that arm. We can take that shit away.
Yeah, and he didn't realize they could do that either.
Like we can literally just fucking zip fucking like the team tune of Funky Town.
That was a reality check, and I like the flashback scenes to when they were purging him of the Winter Soldier mentality. Kind of gave a bit of a personal edge to it. Like,
yeah, you can tell they were close, because even the way she just turned and said, "Bass, damn you, James," when like they were walking out. They got close when Bucky was in Wakanda.
I mean, you'd have to, wouldn't you? If you're going that deep into someone's psyche, like.
And then there was the main standout moment for me with Bucky was him and Sam doing the couples therapy, and just that line of, if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me, and just a little crack in
big moment. Yeah.
That shattered me.
I didn't think you were going to say that one. I was thinking of a different moment, but that's caught me off guard. But I forgot about that. That was a very poignant moment as well. Yeah.
Like that completely shattered me when I was watching it. I nearly started crying. I was like, oh shit. Just a little crack in his voice.
You could tell how big Steve was in his life. I mean, he brought him back from the edge, really. It's heartbreaking. For me, it was at the end when he was making amends with the old man.
Yeah.
About killing his son. Yeah, that one hit me, man. That was really upsetting. That one hit me. That was a big moment for me. Because it really kind of came to a head, came full circle. He had finally crossed off all the names, and he brought himself to do what he knew was right, really.
Yeah, and even then, like before that, his connection with Wakanda, I think this is why I think he might pop up in Wakanda Forever. His connection with Wakanda, the fact that he eventually did hand Zemo over to him, and then basically asked him for one more favor. I was kind of, I'm going, bitch, what? As soon as he said, yeah, it's for my friend Sam over there, and she's like, I killed Granny with no water. So we know the suit's made out of fucking full vibranium, so he's basically bulletproof.
Man. And he showed that as well when was it the chopper landed on him on the bridge?
Wings
he
over.
Just shelled up. That was sick. That makes him a formidable threat, man. That vibranium suit, like
his
also. That reminds me of the suit being handed over to the soldier guy. I forget his name. It sets up him becoming the Phoenix, right?
It sets up him becoming the new Falcon.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. See that all these little things that they're leaving in, like in WandaVision, with I'm forgetting everyone's name. The woman who got the powers from going through the.
Oh, Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, these little things that are setting up, characters that are gonna appear later. Like I like these things.
Yeah, like Sam's arc was incredible. Now we have like a couple more characters to talk about, but Sam's arc, from going from having that feeling of imposter syndrome at the start to finally taking the shield and saying, no, you know what? The government doesn't want me to be Captain America. Isaiah Bradley is saying I shouldn't be Captain America, and
Yeah,
Buck telling me to be Captain America, and John Walker's telling me he's Captain America. I'm going to be my
yeah,
own Captain America.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a heavy shield to carry. I'm sure it is literally as well, but it's
Yeah.
it's
Oh, I don't
a
know.
big
Vibranium.
shoes to fill. I don't know. I mean, I've never held vibranium. Have you?
No. Listen, all I know is that Spider-Man said that thing doesn't obey the laws of physics whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, figuratively, then it's heavy to carry,
Mm.
and it's definitely gonna weigh on his back. But he, I don't know. I think he carries it well. He looks good with the shield.
Yeah,
I like the little training montage. It's kind of cheesy, but
it was. But during that montage, someone on TikTok pointed this out. The way they frame the shots with Sam when he's doing his running, there's always space on his left.
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
reference back to
This is what I'm saying, man. These little things that these producers and directors and screenwriters and stuff put in, like these little details, like they don't get enough props for it, I don't think.
No, they really don't.
And then the people who go through with a fine tooth comb and pick all this stuff up, like it's rewarding for them, that their
Yeah.
work is gotta be noticed. Like,
But let's talk about John Walker then for a hot minute. The guy who literally everybody hated him before he even had a word in the script.
face, man, is
The amount of
he's
hatred he got, and it's a testament to how Wyatt Russell played him.
exactly, yeah. It's like so many other characters, like Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like it's these people you love to hate. And I felt the same way. I loved to hate John Walker. Like I didn't. And even when you can see what he's doing, you can see what's coming next.
Yeah.
It makes you hate him even more. I mean, I will say that his arc was good in the sense that you could see how it progressed. You could see it going there. You knew where it was going, but it didn't just go there straight away. It showed it developing over a couple of episodes.
Like, he started off with the best intentions. He was just given this job as Captain America, so he's just
Yeah.
But problem was the way he spoke to Bucky and Sam when he picked him up in the truck. It was almost like he just couldn't stop putting his own foot in his mouth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, mate, you're talking to two of Steve's best friends and you're holding the shield.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think it's gonna feel? It's a good character arc, in the sense that, like, by the end of it, I didn't like the end of the character arc. I mean, I know he's gonna go somewhere with that lady and the new suit. But I think it would have been more effective if he didn't help out in the end.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way he jumped in and helped at the end.
See, I think with the end, I think it was rushed a bit, his redemption arc. And then, after he got his leading shield that he bought down in Sub City Comics for 50
He made that bad boy, man.
After he got that bleeding bashed in, his missus isn't going to be happy that all the lids off his bins are missing. He went and he done the right thing. I think it was rushed, but it's in a way them trying to bring him around to what he is in the comics, which is more anti-hero than villain. With your woman, I'm like, try say all 17 of her names, and being the secret cameo. She's long history in the comics as a triple agent, Nick Fury's ex. She was Madam Hydra for a while.
Yeah.
I think she's going to take the place of General Ross, if you remember from Incredible Hulk and from Civil War. He's the one that slapped the Sokovia Accords in front of the Avengers.
Yeah, yeah.
I think she's taking his place, and in that, I think she's going to set up the Thunderbolts.
I was thinking that, yeah.
So I think
I've seen a few theories about that.
Yeah, I think in the Thunderbolts we're going to have US Agent. We could have Zemo. And we might have Bucky go into the Thunderbolts.
Really?
Yeah. Abomination. And a couple more. I think we're definitely building towards either a Thunderbolt or a Dark Avengers.
I think the shining moment for John Walker for me was his speech he gave when he was in court after killing the flag smasher.
Yeah.
That speech he gave when he was just like letting the emotions out.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. He played it very well.
He was like, you made me. this. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, he had a point. You know,
yeah,
he did everything he was told to do. You know, I mean, he was given an incalculable amount of pressure. You know, and it was all put on his shoulders. And no normal man's gonna carry that. You know,
no.
and he ended up not being a normal man.
Again, with his him taking the serum, it really goes back to Captain America, the first Avenger. That line about the serum, it makes a good man great.
Yeah, he had the right intentions again. You
Yeah,
know,
but the problem was it brings out who you truly are, and it makes if you're bad, it's gonna make you even worse.
but
And
would he have went down that road if his partner wasn't killed?
see, he'd already taken the serum before his partner was killed. I think his
Hmm.
partner being killed pushed him over the edge.
It was a tipping point. Yeah, there was no more angel on his shoulder to pull him back. You know.
Which was also, I'm sorry, it was also obvious that he was going to get killed as soon as they brought him in and had John Walker have a black partner. I was like, yeah, right, there's the death that is going to tip someone over the edge.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
scene,
It was.
right, that scene of him killing the Flag Smasher, especially since that was the one at the start of the episode. The base said, "I used to look up to Captain America," and literally
It was
having,
far more graphic.
yeah,
I
having
imagine any scene in it being.
it was rough. It was
And like
unsettling.
everyone's around with the phones. It's this digital age, you know, where like everything you do is being watched, you know, and everyone's around with the phones on, you know, and there's no escaping it. Like,
No, and it was the graphic scene of him just standing where the camera's panning up at him, and you just see the blood on the bottom of the shield, and him just standing there,
mhm.
just cuts out.
He portrays a crazy man pretty well. I think too well, to be honest. Like the crazy is in his eyes, you know. I
Russell,
wouldn't feel comfortable sleeping beside him at night.
Kurt Russell's your dad, like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're doing something wrong, he
Yeah,
stares at you for a couple of seconds, like you're gonna stop doing that thing.
yeah. No, I think he was great, but one of his best scenes, I think, was with Dora Milaje in the hotel room, where he, first of all, you have no jurisdiction here, and then I was just like, the Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever they should
Yeah,
find themselves. I was like, yes, she's basically saying we do what we want.
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
And then
But
he made
then
a
the
stupid decision of touching them that
he got
contradicted,
his ass whipped, like.
and he got his ass kicked. I think that was the moment he decided if he got the super soldier serum, he'd take it. Because at the end of
Because
it,
that was the line where he said, "Yeah, they weren't even
super,
super soldiers." Yeah, and he realized like he isn't all that. Like,
no,
you know, how's he meant to compete with these people?
like he's military trained, and they kicked his ass. And then there was,
Easy, by the way.
and then there was the scene where he got his ass kicked a lot. There was a scene where Sam and Bucky took the shield from him.
To be honest, right? When I was watching that, I was like, sure, you have to make a good fight scene out of it. But I was like, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier should take him down a lot easier than they did.
Yeah,
You know, I felt like they should have beat him up. Like I felt like it shouldn't have been that hard of a battle. But then I'm thinking, you know, maybe he's a crazy man strength, super serum strength, just lost his partner. You know, he's going crazy. You know, but I felt like it was a bit. You know, I don't know. I mean, it had to be a big fight scene. You know, of course it did, but.
I think as well. I think it was the varying motives going into the fight. I think they were into the fight. Sam didn't want to hurt John. I think Bucky said he didn't want to hurt John, but I think Bucky wanted to hurt him. I think Bucky
Yeah.
wanted to make him feel a little bit of pain.
But I think Bucky alone could have beat the fuck out of him, you know? And I don't know. That's just what I felt watching it. But I don't know, it has to look good for TV, you know?
Yeah, true. What other moments do we have before we move off? Like, there was so for 6 episodes, there was so much to unpack.
This is what I was talking about to a friend of mine. Like WandaVision was this really slow burn, really methodical plan and setup. You know, there was so much going on, but in a different way.
Yeah,
Whereas with the Winter Soldier, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like it jumps straight into the action. Like
yeah.
there's no messing around.
Like there was the comedy was still there, which I loved. There's the whole androids, aliens, and wizards line, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I like the little interactions with Sam Wilson's sister and Bucky.
Yeah,
Thought that was hilarious.
Bucky got invited to the cookout at the end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it really was. It wrapped up in a nice little bow, and built now towards Captain America 4, which was announced to be in the works a few weeks after it finished up.
Yeah, I seen something that Sam Mackie found out at a grocery store. Apparently, he didn't even know.
People don't. It was him? No, Sebastian Stan. That people don't tell that. Sebastian Stan found out he was getting dusted in Infinity War the day he went in to film the scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus, that hurt.
Tom Holland doesn't find out anything anymore because he keeps.
Yeah, just keeps slipping up. I wonder now how much of that is a marketing thing and how much of that is just him slipping up.
Yeah. I'd say it's 50-50 to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the first few times was just him slipping up, and then they made it a marketing thing.
Yeah,
like the poster reveal was definitely a marketing thing.
Oh yeah,
where he was on a live video and he opened it up backwards. And yeah.
Although it'd be funny to find out that was probably the one that wasn't a market.
Yeah, the one that looks like it's a plant. It isn't.
But yeah, no, Falcon and the Winter Soldier overall, like I've no huge complaints about it. The art
enjoyed it.
Was beautiful. I do find it great that they're touching on now that Tony's gone. All these former Avengers are going back to their day jobs because there's no cash coming in.
Yeah, that was really interesting, because it asks questions people want to know, like how do you get your money? Is Tony just trying to a few quid here and there, like
in an apartment?
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, no, overall it's like I thought it was going to be WandaVision was going to be a really tough act to follow, but Falcon and Winter Soldier kept up. And then next we have Loki now in a couple of months.
Loki was my most anticipated Marvel series they announced, so I'm hoping that it lives up to my anticipations.
Yeah, so much to unpack with that as well. The last trailer, I think, everyone's convinced that it's Nat sitting on that weird looking planet with him.
Well, it's a different timeline, isn't it? He's flown off, it could well be.
And the fact that it's coming out the month after Black Widow.
Yeah. Black Widow looks sick, by the way.
Yeah, and your woman who was speaking to John Walker was actually supposed to, her big reveal was supposed to be in Black Widow. So I think she's going to be
really
Taskmaster to the Thunderbolts as well.
Oh, look, I can't wait to see Taskmaster.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good introduction to the cinematic universe.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where he's been over the last since this is set between Civil War and Infinity War, I think.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see that. But let's get on to talking about the title reveals and the movies that are coming up next. So we have
lead the way, horse.
We have Black Widow first. People have been talking about that for about 2 years since it's supposed to come out. So there's much more I can touch on that. I'm looking forward to it. I've just said they're seeing Taskmaster, seeing Nat one more time, seeing her being the focal point. And if the rumors are true, see her handing over the mantle to her younger sister for going forward. Then we have Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. We're finally going to get to see the real Mandarin rather than English dude watching football, drinking a few beers.
Yeah.
Did you just watch the trailer for it?
I don't think I watched the full trailer. I've seen clips online, but I haven't watched the full trailer. I didn't even see the full trailer for the Eternals, but I'm looking forward to the Eternals.
Well, they haven't released the full trailer for it just yet.
Oh right, yeah. I've seen some sort of breakdown, I think.
Shang-Chi looks really good. I don't know much about the character myself. I've openly admitted that. So I'm going to be going in here with fresh minds.
That's it, going in with no expectations, going in with an open mind.
It does look amazing. So interesting that I love watching all the older Far East kung fu movies and the martial arts movies, and it seems like this is going to mix that with Marvel and superhero stuff, and that just sounds amazing to me. So looking
forward to it.
Yes, then we've Eternals, and we've only got a few snippets of it in that Marvel's that thing they released a while back where they announced the titles.
I can't wait to see our own Barry Keoghan in that. I can't wait to see. Yeah.
Barry,
it's a big role for him.
You're watching this. I reached out to you on Twitter for an interview and you haven't got back to me yet.
It's a big role for him. I just finished my course and he played. This book had a short story in it called Calm with Horses, which was later adapted into a film, and he played one of the main characters in the film, and it was amazing. He's brilliant.
I still remember him from his love-hate days.
Yeah, back when he was a nipper.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, it's him.
He's doing well for himself.
It's a serious cast. You have 2 Game of Thrones actors, Aaron Barry Cohen, Angelina Jolie, Gemma Chan, who was amazing things, and now they have the director now won an Oscar there at the Oscars for
Really?
Nomadland.
Nice.
So I
So
believe
there's a serious lineup.
Watch someone correct me now on watch it wasn't Nomadland. Watch, well, I'm pretty sure we haven't seen much on it yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do about it, because I'm not sure when it's even going to be set. Is it going to be set in the past, the present?
I've seen some theories that's going to be set in a variety of timelines. Like it's going to go over the course of multiple years, you know.
Yeah.
It does. It seems pretty confusing, to be honest. It seems like there's going to be a lot of moving parts,
Yeah.
and a lot to kind of keep track of. But that's a good thing in some ways, you know. There's so much. There's like aliens, wizards, and androids, all that stuff. You know, it's going to be all of it. Like,
It's going to be interesting to see. There's not much really more you can say about it. I've read a couple of Eternals comics in my time, not enough to put together a feasible theory. But I'm excited to see where they go with it and how it's going to affect the MCU going forward. And then we have the one I'm most looking forward to.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
My boy, No Way Home. And recently, I don't know if you've seen, Andrew Garfield was asked about the rumors of him being in the movie, and basically he was like, "I'm not in it."
I'm sure there's some NDAs they've signed though. I'm sure they can't say he's in it. Like,
There could be,
you know.
yeah. But basically, he seemed pretty adamant. He seemed pretty like almost pissed off the whole thing of being asked, "Is he in it?" constantly.
I'd be pissed off as well if I couldn't talk about it. I wasn't asking about it.
I am one of the few people that does not want to see Andrew Garfield, or especially Tobey Maguire, in this fucking movie.
I'm open-minded. If it's done well, it's done well.
Kirsten
I don't
Dunst,
mind.
that's my big problem. She
Really?
was in the media publicly bashing the MCU Spider-Man, and now they're bringing her in for this movie. Like,
I just hope it's a good movie. That's all I hope.
I don't know. Alfred Molina.
Any theories?
Theories? I don't know. This could be like, it could be so vast with this whole multiverse thing going on.
I keep forgetting that like they left off Far From Home with Gyllenhaal on the massive screen, you know, and revealing his identity. It's a massive thing to leave off on, you know. And I think people have to remember that before going to this movie, you know, because it has to be a big plot line, you know.
Yeah.
Surely there's no way to just brush past it, you know.
There has to be something at the end of the movie of his identity becoming secret again. In the comics, to get after Civil War, to get his identity back as a secret, he needed to sell his marriage and his past memories with Mary Jane to the devil to get his secret identity put back, but also to save Aunt May from a gunshot wound.
Nice. So some Mephisto Shadow in WandaVision might show up.
I say everyone is sick of hearing that name.
But it's the same thing with the Falcon and the Soldier. There's so many theories that like didn't really come to light in the end.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the negative things about knowing so much about comics and watching a series. You know, you come up with all these different endings in your head, and then it ends up being the most vanilla, the most you know, the most obvious ending.
Like, that was amazing. I'm sorry, but how much money do you think it cost them to get Evan Peters in WandaVision?
Not that much.
I mean, he's a big actor. I say a couple of mil.
He is a big actor, but it's also like it's a fun opportunity. I mean, it's a big deal as well. It wasn't much screen time.
I'd say at least $500,000, at least.
And listen, more power to him if he's getting that much to do it. Like
$500,000. So much hours of script writing time for a dick joke.
I wish there was more to it, though. I wish there was more than just you dreamt him up.
I think there might be, because at the end of it all, we never really found out who Jimmy's missing witness protection person was. So that, like,
well, that's your questions. Here we are on WandaVision now.
Yeah, that's how much I don't want to talk about Tobey Maguire being anywhere near my Spider-Man.
Okay, any other theories then, other than the previous Spider-Man?
I think it's going to be Sinister Six. I think with Melina coming in as Doc Ock, Jamie Foxx coming back as Electro.
Really?
Honestly, it's hard to say, but I know the ending of it is going to be leading into the next one. I was getting mirrored wrong. Doctor Strange, because that WandaVision, No Way Home, and Doctor Strange have all been said to be linked together.
Mhm.
So it's going to be interesting to see there what Doctor Strange has to do with it. I think something happens that cracks the multiverse, and that's what's going to lead it into Doctor Strange.
Spider-Man's like, please bring us back in time so no one knows who I am.
Yeah, to do something. Doctor Strange's like, if I could bring us back in time for anything I wanted, I could. Tony probably still be alive, paying all our bills.
True.
No, I've no real theories for it, to be honest. I'm excited for it. I hope it's really good. I hope he keeps the black and red suit that we're seeing in all the pictures that from the end of Far From Home, because that suit was perfect.
And I like that.
Looking forward to more Tom Holland and what they're going to introduce. I'm seeing people have commented about leaks and everything on Twitter, and I'm avoiding them like the plague. I don't want to know. I don't want to know any leaks.
That's fair. I just love the catalogue of villains Spider-Man has, and I hope to see as many as we can.
Whole gallery in comics.
Oh yeah. He has such a massive catalogue of villains, and I'm looking forward to see as many as you can. Like even in the Spider-Verse movie, like some of I rewatched it recently. Like it's just amazing. Such a good movie. Like, I love seeing Prowler in Spider-Verse. It's unreal.
There is the ongoing rumor that Daredevil is going to be in it.
I seen, wasn't it leaked or announced that the actor who plays, is it Karen?
Yeah.
I think someone was saying or saying a leak or a rumor or something that she was in it. So
Daredevil could be his lawyer.
Yeah, it makes sense. I did an essay on Daredevil recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a comics and fantasy module. I did an essay on origin stories and their function.
How do you
Daredevil and Batman.
mention this to like your nerdy ass brother that you have a module on comics?
Sorry, it was comics and fantasy because it was 100% of the assessment was on the final essay, so I just didn't attend the module. Went to the first class. He was like, "Yeah, 100% of the grade goes to your essay," and I was like, "All right, I'm out."
If you missed a trick there, you could have easily just sent that over to me, and I'd like.
Listen, I don't do that, you know. Once if I write the word essay on Twitter, like there's 6,000 essay bots that reply, and they're like, "Let us write your essay for you," and I'm like, "No, it wouldn't feel right, you know, it wouldn't feel right."
Very well, could have helped.
Could have. I thought about it, then I was like, "No, do it myself."
No, he'll take over the whole essay.
I looked up a lot of. I downloaded the ebooks and stuff. It was an interesting process.
Daredevil. What made you pick Daredevil?
It tied in well. I wanted to do a compare and contrast thing, and he was a representative of the disabled community, was blindness, you know, represented the working class, you know, was a pro bono lawyer in his free time. So his whole thing was to fight for justice, whether it was in his vigilante career or in his personal life, you know. Just an interesting kind of motivations. And it mirrored Batman's in a way, but also without the money, you know.
Yeah. Interesting. If you get that back, I want to read it.
I have it.
Send it on. Anyway, moving on.
Send it over there.
This is just like old times. We are just veering off in every single different direction.
So that's what happens when you have the dynamic little bro on the podcast, like
Comic-Con crew back together. I'm down, Deadshot.
Listen. Next time I'm going as Harley Quinn.
I will pay to see you in tights.
Listen, we don't have to pay that much.
Moving on.
Just come over on Thursday night.
Moving on. Next after Spider-Man is Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
I'm excited for that one.
My big theory for this one is, I know it's basically about Nightmare is going to be the big villain for it. I think Wanda is going to be the pseudo villain for it.
Really?
Yeah, I
mean, she looked pretty sinister in the post-credit scene of WandaVision. You know, she looked like a sorcerer supreme.
She's going to push too far, trying to get the kids back, and Stevie Strange is going to be like, here, like, you know, like best surgeon, devil,
Yeah.
sorcerer. You can't really take that from me as well. You know what I mean? A car took the surgery from me. Don't take the sorcerer from me. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing just like anything that deals with the multiverse. Has my attention, you know, because the possibilities are endless there.
yeah.
Quite literally. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And yeah, Wanda has an interesting kind of couple couple of appearances left, doesn't she? Like she's going an interesting route, like,
Well, like,
and so is Vision. I'm looking forward to seeing where Vision goes.
yeah, it's confirmed that she's the most powerful character in the MCU.
Mm,
Like, and
yeah,
we've known that since Endgame. Let's be honest. Like, Thanos. The only reason she didn't kill Thanos is because he basically nuked his
rain
whole,
down hellfire.
yeah, he nuked his
Yeah,
whole own army to get her off him. She would have slaughtered.
he didn't even know who she was.
That's still the best meme ever.
Yeah, I don't even know who you are. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that movie shakes out. Wanda as a pseudo villain is good theory. I've no theories. I've no theories for any of this, to be honest.
Yeah,
I've no idea where that's going to go, but I'm just excited to see where it does go.
yeah. And Vision will be back. I'm not sure when, but he will be back, and he'll come back as White Vision, but he'll come back with all Vision's feelings and memories back.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be any hints towards the X-Men in multiverse?
If anywhere is going to do it, if any one of these movies is going to do it, it's that one.
It'd be that one, you know. Also, I'll wait till the end. That's going to bring up the Fantastic Four teaser.
Yeah, we'll get on to that. Moving on, so we have Thor: Love and Thunder. Then
that's the one I'm looking forward to most. Let's be honest. You know, I have a soft spot for Thor, man.
Like, people are pissed at Sam taking the shield. Wait till they get a load of Jane taking the hammer. That sounded dirty. I'm gonna
It
refresh.
didn't until he said it. It didn't until he said
it. She's taken the hammer before. This is a different type of hammer.
Yeah. Okay, just keep talking. That's fine. Keep digging.
I think the neckbeard, the fat neckbeards living in their mother's basement, are gonna lose their shit. They're gonna be throwing their "Make America Great Again" hats all over the place when they see Jane Foster take the mantle of Thor.
Listen,
I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to the backlash. That'll be fun. I'm just not a Jane Foster fan. That's my concern. You know,
I don't like the actress.
that's what I meant. Who plays her again?
She played,
I always forget her name.
not the one, the American Keira Knightley.
What?
She played your woman Padme in Star Wars.
I always forget her name, but I'm just not a massive fan. I'm just not a massive fan of her.
Because she left after the second Thor movie because basically she thought she was too big to be in it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the second Thor movie was dog shit.
It was. I still have a soft spot for Thor, man, though. I love Thor.
Natalie Portman.
That's the one. I'm not a massive Natalie Portman fan. I don't know where it is. It's just one of those things, you know. I just can't explain it. Just not a massive fan.
I'm not a huge fan for myself. Like, I know she was great. People loved her in Black Swan, which was a good movie. A bit of a head fuck, but she was as good as she could possibly be in Star Wars. And I liked her in the first Thor. I thought in the first Thor you could see she was putting her energy into the movie.
I liked, what's the girl's name?
Kat Dennings.
Plays Darcy in WandaVision as well.
Yeah,
Darcy's amazing.
Oh, she's fantastic. I want her and Jimmy.
I love that character. Yeah, I love that character. But I never really gravitated towards Natalie Portman as Jane Foster. So tell me, how's it going to happen then? How is Jane Foster taking the hammer?
See, that I'm not sure how they're going to play it out. I think a lot of it all depends on what happens in Doctor Strange.
Really?
I think Doctor Strange is going to just have a ripple effect through all these movies. Like,
I mean, you'd imagine so.
Like, we know Thor is currently with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
But I think the same way Doctor Strange is going to have a massive effect, that Quantumania is going to have a massive effect as well, I think.
So that's, I think, is going to have a massive effect going into Phase 5.
Yeah.
That's where Quantumania is going to be felt the most.
Yeah. So
nothing really. I've no real theories for it again because from my knowledge, Thor was with the Guardians, and I thought we'd see Guardians first.
Yeah, yeah. Once we see a bit more Korg, once we see Korg at least once more, I'm happy
Yeah.
enough. And what's her name? Tessa
Tessa Thompson.
as Valkyrie. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's brilliant as well. Let's see her come back.
Yeah, I want to see the Queen of Asgard.
Yeah, she's brilliant. But like that, I just want to see Chris Hemsworth as Thor for as long as I can.
Yeah, I think
He's
this is his final phase now. I think he's done after this phase. To be fair, he
well,
gave us some good memories.
that'll be me on my way out then.
Poor
No
Tony.
Chris Hemsworth, no little brother.
Wow. All the Chris's are
He's-
gone.
he's-
The brother's gone. Yeah, moving on. Then we have another title was released. We have Wakanda Forever. Great title, I think. I love it.
Brilliant. Yeah.
For Chadwick passing, and it says that it's going to explore the world of Wakanda and everyone in it a bit more. So it'd be interesting to see whether they're going to do some CGI for T'Challa or whether they're going to
Seen-
on screen.
I've seen someone saying that they weren't going to do that.
Mm.
I've seen someone denying that they were going to do CGI. I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
I wouldn't. I think everyone knows, what the story is. We don't need to see it on screen.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be tasteful to
CGI.
to do CGI. Yeah. It's
I
emotional
think
enough. We already know.
Yeah, I think it's a
Sorry?
rock and hard place situation. I think killing them off screen as well is
People will be unhappy either way.
yeah, exactly.
My personal taste would be to do it off screen.
Yeah, but then the next question is the one that's bothering everyone is who's taking the mantle. They've confirmed they're not
Shuri.
recasting T'Challa, which
Yeah, it's Shuri.
I think is the right move to not recast.
Shuri as Black Panther.
Mm.
That's all I'm campaigning for.
There's a theory I've seen.
Martin Freeman as Black Panther. Martin Freeman.
I've seen theory going around not theory, someone basically a hope that like if the Black Panther dies, that's your leader and your strongest warrior dead. So maybe they'll split it up in this movie. Have Shuri become Queen of Wakanda, have Okoye become Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna go the comic route and have Shuri become Black Panther.
Do you know what I'm wondering though? Is I recently rewatched Black Panther, and the herb that they have that grants the powers for Black Panther.
It's gone.
Killmonger, he burned them all.
Yeah.
And then they got one last one for T'Challa. They can't just grow more, can they, without any of the materials there?
I think if they do, they'd have to explain it somehow.
I think they have to address that,
Otherwise,
we just grew more. Like
or could have something to do with it.
True.
Again, we don't know how much effect this is going to have on all movies.
I'd like to see Shuri as Black Panther.
Yeah. Shuri will take the mantle.
It'll be a great role. And I mean, seeing a woman as Black Panther as well would be amazing.
Yeah.
She's brilliant. She was brilliant in every scene she was in.
Yeah.
Any movie. Like she's amazing. Like
I think we'll see Bucky show up at some stage as well.
Yeah. Most likely.
He needs to make amends. I think AO's still a bit pissed at him. He needs to make amends.
Who's going to be the villain in Wakanda Forever? I seen one theory, and it was like America could be the villain because with Wakanda opening up, some places might feel threatened with how powerful they are.
It could well be. I would love to see. I don't think he'll be the villain, but I think they might introduce him at the end of it. I think we might see the introduction of Namor.
I was thinking that as well. Yeah, that'd be great.
Comics, him and Wakanda and Atlantis do not get along.
Yeah, that'd be good.
They're actually at war in the comics, so I think it will be interesting. So I think we might see his introduction in this movie. Yeah,
that'd be good. Like that, these movies are so far away, and there's so much to happen before them that we can't really know.
Yeah,
where they're going to go. These vague ideas.
It's just that little, and it's perfectly placed. That little bastard right in the middle there.
Yeah, it's a real curveball. I think the Eternals could be a real curveball as well, though.
You could too,
because they've been around for so long and they have so much power as well. That they could be a real curveball.
Yeah,
and they can crop up in the future movies as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they're going to pop up as well. But yeah, Wakanda Forever. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm sure it'll be I'm sure everyone's going to be in tears at the opening credits because I'm sure they're going to have memorial for Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, the Marvel are good about that. You know, they did the
Yeah.
same thing for Stan Lee, I think, didn't
Oh,
they?
and I think for Stanley broke my heart. Still does to this day.
Yeah, yeah.
It still to this day breaks my heart. But then I'm gonna have to go up to move out of the way for this. We have
The
the Marvel.
Marvels.
And first we have Miss Marvel getting her own show coming out this year, which I'm looking forward to. She's a great character. She's gonna be one of the newer created characters to get on screen. She's only kicking since I think 2014.
Mm-hmm.
But she'd be interesting. I like her powers. I like her storyline in the comics. I'm a big fan of that. And then she's been confirmed to be in the Marvels movie. It's gonna focus.
Monica Rambeau's gonna show up in the Marvels movie as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be focusing on Monica Rambeau, Carol, and Kamala Khan.
But again, I'm wondering who's the bad guy in this film? You know, who are they? That's what I want to know in these films. You know, who are they fighting?
We know the villain for Thor, Thor the God Butcher,
Oh,
played by Christian Bale.
oh, nice.
And
I
then
didn't know that.
we have Zeus is going to be in that movie too. So I think we're going to see the introduction of Hercules.
Hmm.
So they're the two we definitely know. We know the villain. We know the villain for some of them. We know the villain for Black Widow is going to be Taskmaster.
Yeah, yeah.
Shang-Chi is the Mandarin. Spider-Man No Way Home is Tobey Maguire. Doctor Strange is Nightmare. Thor is the God Butcher. We don't know for Black Panther, and we don't know for the Marvel things. And then we know for Ant-Man, it's Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah. That'll be a good introduction.
But, for the Marvels, I'd be interested. Like, I'd love to see Blue Marvel come into it. He's a big character in the comics and extremely powerful character in the comics. I'd love to see him come in and them actually eventually form their own Ultimates team. Because they had the likes of Carol, the Blue Marvel, Monica Rambeau, all on it.
There was some. I've seen someone recently speculating that Captain Marvel might lose some of her powers, or at least have her powers diminished in some way with the stones, because she was tied to the stones in some way, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she drew a power.
The Tesseract.
Yeah, she drew a power from and it's been destroyed. So I think there's been some speculation if she might lose some powers.
I hope not. I think that we just
not lose powers, but I think it diminish some powers.
I think that's just kind of pandering to the people who are all crying about her being too overpowered.
But it's pretty common art though, you know. Someone loses part of their powers or loses a bit of their ability, you know, and you know, in Spider-Man he loses his suit, you know, and
yeah,
you know, he has to find a way to, you know. I think it's very possible. I think.
Well, I'd need to do like a full show again on the people still hating on Captain Marvel.
I haven't rewatched it since I first watched it. I have to be honest.
Like the stuff they hate on her for, they hate on her. She's too arrogant and overpowered. Thor exists. Tony exists. Like it's talking about arrogance. Tony Stark and Thor. You're talking about overpowered Thor. And then there was the whole we didn't get that big fight scene at the end. She was overpowered by how easily she beat her villain. It's like, yeah, her villain tried to mentally manipulate her by saying, "You don't need your powers to fight me," and she was
That's
like,
the way it should be. I would have not liked if she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat you with my hands." No, blast his ass.
Pew, bye.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
Why would the fuck would I waste the energy when I can just pew pew?
Yeah. Like, oh, you need your powers to beat me? Yeah, I have them. So like,
if you had a gun, I bet you'd shoot me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna not use them. Like, that's what they're there for.
But that's like the Marvels. I'm excited to see the three of them together because Kamala Khan grew up as a lifelong Captain Marvel fan, and so it'll be interesting to see. They've had some run-ins in the comics and some great moments in the comics. So I'm interested to see what route they're going to take. But I'm most interested to see what the argument was about between Monica and Carol, why they're not on speaking terms.
That'll be interesting. There's so many new characters being introduced. Not even like the likes of Monica, you know, and like the likes of the new Falcon that's going to be introduced. Like there's so many of these smaller new characters that are coming in. It's gonna be hard to keep track of. Like.
Oh, we're getting and this actually leads into Quantumania. We're getting a Young Avengers movie in the next 5 years.
Oh yeah, and like I mean, what's Ant-Man's daughter's name again?
Cassie,
isn't she gonna be a hero?
That's where we're going from now.
Yeah.
They recast her Um,
Oh, really?
the girl who played Cassie in Infinity War in
Yeah.
Endgame, when Scott came back, found out she was recast for the role through social media.
That's rough, man.
Yeah.
That's rough. And why though?
Does I think don't think they were planning at first to go this route, but I think now they're planning to make her take up the mantle. They wanted someone maybe more acting chops and who looked more comic accurate. So she's gonna take the mantle
Recast.
at the end of the movie, and she's gonna take her on. She'll be Stature, which is the comic book name for Cassie Lang, and she'll be Stature by the end of the movie.
This
So,
passing the mantle thing is a theme, though, isn't it? Like Hawkeye is going to be passing the mantle to his daughter as
oh
well.
yeah, I cannot wait for that show for Kate Bishop to come in.
Me too. I've always been a massive Hawkeye fan. You know this.
Yeah.
No, I've always.
Why didn't you yoke on him if you were talking about disabled things and stuff? Because he's deaf in the comics.
Yeah, see, there was a limit to the characters on the course and the figures on the course, and the origin stories of Batman and Daredevil were some of the ones I knew better.
Yeah.
And some of the ones that they were both on the course and I knew them, and they kind of worked well together. So
I would have aced that class.
you probably would have, yeah. I mean, it wasn't just comics; it was like there was The Hobbit, and like there was.
I hope you would have that. If you read it, you know.
Yeah. The Watchmen and stuff. There was lots of it. Yeah, it was an interesting class for that one class that I did attend.
Yeah, no, Hawkeye passing the mantle. Passing the mantle is going to be phase 4 to get ready for phase 5. A lot of the heroes we know are getting phased out now.
I tell you what, man, it's going to be tough to see them all getting phased out.
It is.
It's going to be tough seeing all these faces that we've watched for 10 plus years, kind of getting old and passing on. Like,
I'm surprised they're still in this phase. To be honest, I thought it was going to be the end of them when conveniently the original Avengers were among the people to not get dusted in Infinity War. I thought this Endgame going to be their last hurrah.
Yeah, but it's something. It's completely new for me, and I think for a lot of people. And in seeing, like, there's gonna be a new generation growing up with their Avengers and their heroes. You know,
Yeah.
like we grew up with these heroes. You know, and we're not gonna see them anymore on the screen.
Like, look at
it's gonna be mad.
Already. Nat is dead. Tony's dead. Steve is on the moon. That's one of my favorite ongoing jokes throughout that show.
Yeah.
Thor's going to be passing on the mantle. Who else is? Hulk is. There hasn't been. I think he might pop up in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. We'll get this backdrop doesn't show a lot of the shows that are coming out. But we're talking about Quantumania. We'll get back into the other shows now. We'll do a quick bit in the end. Quantumania.
This will be a big shake-up as well, I think.
Yeah, with Kang the Conqueror coming in as well.
And
this is what I mean for Young Avengers. I think with Kang the Conqueror and with Quantumania, I think between fucking this and Quantumania, Wanda's twins are going to come back.
Yeah. Excuse me.
It's going to be. Then it's going to be Wanda's twins. We're going to have Stature. I think No Way Home might begin to introduce Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So we'll have Miles, and we'll have Cassie Lang, the new Hawkeye, and they're going to form the Young Avengers.
Yeah, they're so young as well.
Yeah,
I know it's Young Avengers, but like they're Young Avengers. Like, this is what I'm saying. It'll be like kids that are like young, like that are too young to have seen our Avengers. We've grown up with these Avengers and these movies and these heroes, and it's crazy to think. Like,
it's great though that they're gonna have their own moments. Like, they might not remember, but we'll always know this whole thing started with 3 words: I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
And with them, it's gonna start somewhere different, and they're gonna have that moment of going back and watching through all the movies. And it's great to know they'll have that enjoyment.
That's another thing is like they're starting, like they need to catch up, you know. They're gonna need to go back and watch and catch up, you know.
There's what, 23 movies now?
Yeah, like there's a lot to catch up on. Because you can't just jump. Well, you could just jump in, but like there's so much you're missing out on.
Yeah,
by not catching up, you know.
It's crazy, but it's brilliant at the same time. Who would have ever thought back before Iron Man 1 that we were going to get a comic universe this vast?
Not even a comic universe this fast, but a comic universe that means so much, you know. because like people disregard superhero movies as just superhero movies, but like as we've seen with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, like these have like massive social commentary in them, and representation in these shows and movies that it's very important to kids growing up these days.
No, 100% agree. Last thing, I have a couple of questions for you at the end, but that's from the things I've said. This movie isn't on it, but we have Guardians.
Don't ask me questions.
We have Guardians Volume 3 coming out,
mm-hmm.
and someone pointed out, right, there's already, James Gunn said there's going to be a big death in this movie. Someone pointed out the color schemes of the titles have teased who the big death was. The first one was a kind of brown color, Groot. Second one was blue and red, Yondu. This one seems to have the colors of Rocket Raccoon.
I mean, it makes sense.
It
would make sense. As beloved as a character as he is and has been, I don't think he's as pivotal as some of the other characters and as important going forward. I wouldn't use the word expendable, but it's more of it's still an emotional, impactful death while not impacting the rest of the timeline of the movies going forward.
Yeah, I agree. He's one of the only characters that his death would bring forth the emotional response you want, while also not tying their hands for the future movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know what to be upsetting. I have a little Groot toy here though. Hold on. So I don't want Groot to die. I don't know. I think Drax would be the same way though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you kill Drax, it'd be the same thing. No one wants to see him go, but it wouldn't mess up their plans for future films.
That's the thing where people are getting confused. Some people are saying the color schemes for Rocket Raccoon and Drax are very similar, so it could be either.
It makes sense. Both of those would make sense. I would put bets on it being one of those.
I wouldn't surprise me if it was Drax. I know Batista doesn't really enjoy playing the character anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently you think he's just done with the superhero genre now.
That's fair. Yeah, if I had to put a bet on, I'd put a bet on one of those two. If I had to put a bet on one, I probably would say Drax, to be honest.
Yeah, but they're not going to kill off Quill. They're not going to kill off Gamora.
No. What about Nebula?
Could be Nebula. Doesn't go with the whole color scheme theory though, but
are going to base it all on color schemes?
Yeah, no, it's the TikTok rabbit hole I went down, and I'm stuck down here. Well, yeah. So that's you've basically what movie from Phase 4 are you looking forward to the most?
It's a tie between. What's in your bottom left again? I forget which one's your bottom left.
Wakanda Forever.
All right, it's a tie between No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness for me.
Okay, yeah, for me it's No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness as well. I'm looking forward to them all, but those are the two I'm most hyped for.
Those are the two that I have the most questions about. Yeah, Quantumania I think is going to be better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed Ant-Man, but I think that'll be a bigger deal than the previous two Ant-Mans, of course.
Yeah. And then Captain America 4 coming sometime down the line. But yeah, you mentioned earlier you had something to say about Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, there was a teaser at the end of the title release thing. I was just wondering if there might be some sort of post-credit scene in Multiverse of Madness or in one of these movies that might hint towards it. And I'm just all for a Marvel-made Fantastic Four.
I think there has to be a post-credit scene, but I don't think it'll be in any of the ones this year.
Really?
Because they haven't even finished writing the script yet.
Yeah.
So it hasn't even begun pre-production.
Yeah. There'll be some sort of hints, though. There'll be some references or hints in these films, I think. I'm
interested to see who they cast.
Yeah. It looks like these are going to be the next few. That's the next introduction. It's going to be the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think I still love the fan casting of John Krasinski as.
John Krasinski is brilliant. Yeah.
His wife Emily Blunt is it as Sue Storm. I love, and this might be a controversial one. I love Zac Efron as Johnny Storm. I think Zac Efron has improved vastly in his.
I think we should see Chris Evans as Johnny Storm.
Multiverse of madness, you never know.
Telling you. I don't know. I've no theories about who to cast. I've never been good at casting. Or thinking of. I can never think of actors. You know. I did see a TikTok recently though, and it was some guy who was like, John Bernthal shouldn't have played the Punisher, and I was like, what?
Right?
He's
Yeah.
And by the start of the video, I was like, shut the hell up. Then by the end of it, I was like, you know what? Good show.
Yeah. I think Daniel Radcliffe might get cast as the Wolverine in the future.
Oh, I don't know if I like that now.
You're a mutant, Harry.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't want to see Wolverine. Controversial opinion. I don't want to see Wolverine in the first two X-Men movies. I think, yes, okay, he's the most popular X-Men character, but I think he stole the show in Fox's X-Men movies to the point where they had to include him in their new universe through Days of Future Past. And I think it took away from a lot of the other characters. And it just goes to show how amazing Hugh Jackman was at playing him. But also, a big character can overshadow all these other ones. And no one else.
I mean, the X-Men have some great characters, and we didn't get to see enough of them.
Yeah,
it's a fair point. But I'm a sucker for Wolverine, so I wouldn't like to go 2 movies without him.
Give me instead of a movie, give me a Xavier Institute Disney Plus show.
Yeah. A little high school drama.
Exactly.
Look at us.
It's back. I wore my hat now. I didn't want my lockdown hair to be on full show.
I've been cutting my own hair. Not too bad, huh?
You have a set style, you like. You know me, I change my mind every 20 minutes.
Just buzz it, man. Just buzz it. That's what I was doing. I was bald for a long time. Huh?
I'm terrified that I'd have a weird shaped head.
Probably do. Listen. I have a nice hair. I have a good hairline, so it's okay if I shave it. I have a fat head, so.
What else do we have? A few more questions then, actually, to end, because I think we covered everything there. Big debate going on at the minute, and I put up a TikTok as part of that debate. People are still giving out that the MCU Spider-Man has not shown Uncle Ben or referenced him enough. What are your thoughts on it?
There's no need. Let's be honest. This is part of the essay that I did on origin stories. Origin stories are massively impactful to how you identify the characters. But when an origin story has taken on a life of its own, and when it's so recognizable to the point where everyone knows it, there's no need to keep rehashing it. You know, it's wasting screen time. I think everyone knows it, and slight references to it are enough because everyone knows it. So like that, I don't think it's necessary, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I said. My thing was, I think they will give him a full reference eventually. I think we've had little bits. We've had the little speech to Tony on the bed, you know, when you can do the things I do, you don't. Bad things happen to people. And that is your fault. They had the initials on his suitcase when he was going away and far from home. They had the whole thing of him asking Tony not to tell May about being Spider-Man because she's been through enough. I think that was a hint at Ben's death. And I just think in his current arc at the moment, there hasn't been a need for it. And if they had shoehorned it into a quick throwaway reference, it wouldn't have felt right. I think he needs
also,
if you're going to reference it, bring it in the story arc that needs it.
As wrong as it seems, okay, just bear with me here. As bad as it sounds, I don't think it's as impactful with a young Ben, like a young Uncle Ben. To be honest, you know, like it was a big surprise seeing this young, attractive Aunt May.
Yeah,
you know, compared to what we have been seeing. I think everyone has this notion of Spider-Man's origin story, but you know, old Uncle Ben, you know, this old wise man who was such a big figure in Spider-Man's upbringing, who tragically loses his life. You know, I don't think that sounds terrible. I know, but I don't think that story is as impactful when it's a younger man.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it's just the sympathy thing. You know, you have this kind of thing for older people. You know.
I get your idea. I see your point. I think they could make him look older because, to be fair, if you're going Marissa Tomei, she's 50.
Yeah.
It's just 50-year-old women look a lot younger nowadays than they did back in the 60s and 70s because life expectancy is higher.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal. They're not referencing it enough because I think
eventually they will reference it and they will bring the line everyone wants to hear in, but I just don't think it's been there's been place for it just yet.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel forced. You know,
No, you don't want
there's
to
no
get
need to force it. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to. Like, there's no need to rush it in. You know, if you feel like you have to include it in the films, you're going to put it in a way that's not authentic. You know, it's not relatable. You know,
and I'm interested to see whether Childish Gambino is going to be on the casting for any of the future Spider-Man movies, because
oh man, Donald Glover.
he played Aaron Morales in the Homecoming. So he played Uncle Aaron, so they're going to need to bring him back for Miles' origin.
Listen, you can anything with Donald Glover in it.
Oh,
sign me up.
old man.
You know, yeah, he's modern day Renaissance man. So I would definitely advocate for bringing Donald Glover back. He's amazing.
That's all the questions I have. There's so many movies.
Any further questions, Your Honor?
The cinemas will be open up soon, so maybe we can go see some movies together again.
Yeah, we sit 6 feet apart.
Get through it. That's all I have. Nothing really else to talk about. There's nothing really going on at the minute until Loki starts and Black Widow releases.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no,
Plenty coming up though.
It was great having you back on the show.
It's good to check in.
If you would pop in every now and then and come on it now that you're free of college.
I'll keep you on your toes. You never see it coming.
So hopefully we'll get Dean back on.
You don't even see it coming. I'm just gonna hack into the Zoom calls.
Annoying him anymore with text of yeah, mate, it's your turn to do a YouTube video today.
Listen, I'm a free bird. I'm a wild card. You know, I do my own thing. So right. I'll be checking.
And on that, very. You done?
No. Finger guns, baby. They're back.
On that note, thanks for listening, watching, whichever way you've done it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if we don't see you through the week, we'll see you through the window.
Weird.
All right. Yeah. So I just cut it off short like I always do.